or down, whichever way you're feeling about these type of live streams and whatnot. As you can see, a little change of plans today. I did plan on doing the Jack of Trades meal today. Um, Not really feeling the greatest. Woke up feeling pretty crappy this morning, so um, I'm going to keep it simple with a tried and true, long term outstanding menu of the United States military, MREs. This menu has been around since the very beginning, and it's stuck around the entire time. It's one of the menus that has stood the test of time with everyone's palates throughout the military. It's just one that it's comfort food, right? Beef stew, it's kind of one of those comfort food things here in the United States. Maybe not so much everywhere in the world, but definitely here. Mix of vegetables, typically a heavy brown type gravy or beef gravy with your beef up in there. So can't go wrong with something like this. But yeah, I was going to do the Jack of Trades. I really want to get my son in on this and have him do the live stream with me. So I'm going to shoot for this next Saturday. That's the goal. That's the plan. That's what I got on the agenda. Unless something changes, which I don't foresee that happening, but it could. I got a lot going on over the next 2 weeks or so. What's up, MRE Info, or K-Man from MRE Info? We got Curious Pete. We got Dub C up in here tonight. We you guys go check out Dub C's channel. I think there's a link to Dub C's channel at the top of my description now. If there's not, it's pretty easy to find. So just type in Dub C, go over there to his channel, and go ahead and subscribe. I read I read all the comments from last week's live stream, and I was reading something. I think it was who was it that might have been Bustov. I can't remember who it was that was talking. Might have been you, Curious Pete. I'm not sure. Someone was talking about some birds like acting weird or something. I never did get to look into that, but it'll be interesting to do that. Now, I'm going to make a real quick post here on YouTube to maybe try to reach a few more people, which I doubt. But it's worth a shot to create a post real quick and put the link up. As soon as I see the Ration Museum in here, I'm going to try to make him a moderator. Well, I guess I didn't do that very well. Anyway, that'll work. Live. Whoops. So what I would say is, even if you guys haven't been able to get your hands on a United States military beef stew, you can go to your local grocery store and buy yourself a can of beef stew. It's going to be pretty similar to this, depending on what brand of beef stew you buy. I haven't tried to match up what brand would mimic this the most, but there definitely are options out there that are going to be very similar to this. The canned beef stews out there, it just depends. And it also depends on which manufacturer you get. Sometimes you get a thicker beef stew. Sometimes you get a runnier beef stew, and your vegetables kind of look, I don't know, almost overly processed in my opinion. They look like really shiny green, and your carrots are square cut and real bright, orange. Stuff like that. Versus it looking like a nice thick beef stew that's been slow cooked, and everything kind of takes on that brown hue. Beef stew is the only MRE entree that's been in MREs since the beginning. I thought spaghetti was. Am I wrong? I thought spaghetti had been around the whole time. So K-Man just said that beef stew is the only main menu that has stuck around since the very beginning, back in technically 80. I've seen cases from 1980, but 81 officially is the official first entire full year of MREs. There was an overlap there in 1980 of, it must have been like a half year or less, um, maybe less than a half a year run of MREs in 1980. All the sales for freezers went out. Oh, that's not good. That means a lot of. I think you got like 3 hours after that happens before you got to start throwing everything away, if I'm not mistaken. So K-Man just came in with some good information there, saying that this is the only menu that has stuck around for the entire. How many years have MREs been around now? Let's see. Well, I guess 40 years because I'm 39. I was born in 82. A solid 40 years, give or take, probably closer to 41 at the time of year this is right now. So they've probably been around 41 years. Actually being produced and put into guys' hands in the field, I guess, because I think they started doing the first prototypes in like 1974, 1973, 74, somewhere along in there. I know 100% 1975 there was a prototype MRE made up. It was in a box, but still it existed. Is that the one? I think it just sold on eBay recently. There might have been 3 of those prototypes that existed in pictures and whatnot, and one of them just ended up on eBay. I'd say the other 2 got eaten in their prototype phase. And yeah, you're right about the 1980 thing. For the first 10 plus years, they didn't do MREs on the calendar year. It was more like 1981 MREs were from June of 80 to 80. Oh, okay, June to May of 81. More like the way they produce cars. They call a 2021 car that was called a 2021, but it was built in, say, June or July of 2020. So more along the lines of how they do cars. I think I made a post. I'm not sure, but we're just going to get into this, and tonight's going to be a pretty short live stream. Like I said, I wasn't feeling the greatest today, and I didn't want to do the Jack of Trades one whenever I wasn't on top of my game. And I want to add like a vintage food item next week too. I've got a decent little stockpile of vintage food items, and I'd like to research a little bit about whatever item I pick, and we might try to prepare, or just depending on what it is. I've got some mac and cheeses. I've got a double of a Kraft mac and cheese from the 70s, I believe. This one's getting cut open because the peelable seal is not cooperating at all. I didn't want to cut through the front of the bag. Now this is the Sapaco. So you got Sapaco, Hornick, and Ameriqual that produce MREs for the United States military. And depending on who you talk to, like some people actually have preferences when it comes to your MREs. I do like the fact that Ameriqual double bags them. They come with a nice little sealed bag on the inside that contains all your items almost vacuum sealed together. But I think that's going to add longevity to those rations, which we're looking, some of those rations now, I think they started doing that back in like 2000. I think I've seen it back as far as 07. I don't know exactly when they started double bagging them like that, but I would like to know that exact time frame of when they started doing that. So, what in the world is that? Anyway, we've got our beef stew, which was made on what, the 274th day of 2018. Hey, Mulder! Feel better, Smokey. Glad you're here tonight for a short one. Thank you so much for that super chat, Mulder. I appreciate that, man. That was unnecessary, but I thank you much for that. Ration M. That's a new one. I haven't seen that one before. Hello. But yeah, thanks again for that, Mulder. I'm guessing it will be close to $20,000 claim. Oh, wow. Yeah, that'll suck. To have to throw away $20,000 worth of food. Is anybody else having issues with the stream right now? Because it might actually be your connection, David. Mine seems really good on my end. I'm not exactly sure how I could test my signal strength right now. Oh, okay. So I'm. Let me see what I can do about that. Not really sure outside of stopping the live stream and restarting it. I might have to do that. No, the weather's not. I mean, it's hot, but no storm or anything right now. So, hey, Ethan. Okay, so nobody should be on a video game then. Huh. I'll tell you what I can do here. I'm going to try this. I might lose you guys for a second, but I'll be right back. Okay, let's see if that fixed it. I'm hoping that it did. I may be having issues because my internet provider sent me a new box out of the blue in the mail, and I have not hooked it up. I think that they're trying to force me into using that box because this. Not only am I having an issue right now on this, but I've been having other issues as well. So hopefully what I just done cleared it up. Miss Marilyn says that's good. Has anybody seen if Sean's made it yet? I want to make him a moderator. But what I want to do is tell you guys to stop by the Ration Museum live stream tomorrow. Should probably, I think he said at 3 p.m. Hang on, let me check my messages real quick. Oh, which, you know what? As a matter of fact, I can go in. Excuse me. Copy text. Yep, he said at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Now, I'm going to go into YouTube, come into the comments section. I'm going to post a link to that real quick. And you guys can go ahead and go set up your notification for that tomorrow. If you want to. Oh my gosh, these ads. They drive me crazy. Alright. Whoops. Did I send the whole message? Hang on just one second, guys. I'm just about there. Okay. There it is. There is a link to the Ration Museum live stream tomorrow that you can go ahead and go right now. Click into that link, go over, and set a notification that'll pop up whenever it's time. Whenever that live stream starts, it'll let you know. Okay, so I think I skipped over everything that I've grabbed. So we got a multigrain wheat snack bread, or no, just multigrain snack bread, no wheat in the title there. And we got some pretzels, a really dinky little bag of pretzels. It says that there's 1 ounce of pretzels in there. Feels like there's next to nothing in that package. Oh, we have a strawberry jam. one of my favorites. Awesome. We have an orange Carbohydrate Electrolyte beverage powder. So basically your Gatorade style. We have our partially biodegradable MRE spoon here. We got a package of hot sauce. I'm a huge fan of the hot sauce with lime, but this is actually my second favorite. I like this much better than Tabasco. I know that's probably not what a lot of people want to hear, but I do. I like that one a lot better. And we also have a 1 ounce pack of peanut butter. And of course, we used to get an ounce and a half of everything, of cheese spread, peanut butter. As a matter of fact, I have this package right here that shows you that we used to get an ounce and a half. And no longer do we do, I think, what was it, 2016 or 17? I can't remember which year we started cutting it down to 1 ounce from the 1.5 ounces. You know, I really miss that extra half ounce. According to everybody that I talked to back when they were doing this, they actually could add more items into the mix since they were putting less peanut butter and stuff. Here we've got our hot beverage bag. Won't be using that bad boy. Oh, look at this. So here's our sleeve, our beef stew sleeve. 240 calories. Not super calorie dense. Pretty high in sodium, 640 milligrams. That one's going to hurt me. It does contain milk and soy. Of course, you gotta love to see that soy. Not a huge fan of soy myself. What was on the back of this, by the way? We have vitamins and mineral content of that list of items right there. Chocolate protein, fruit pouches, sugar-free beverage, cheese spread, peanut butter, crackers, pudding, and First Strike bars. First Strike bars check a lot of the boxes. Wow. All except for 2 of them. So they really pack those First Strike bars down with vitamins and minerals, don't they? No calcium in a First Strike bar. Huh. Interesting. Well, that's a pretty cool little printout on the back of that. Here we've got a really nice, crisp looking flameless ration heater with our OG Schultz there. What else we got? Ooh, nice. Got an applesauce cake. Too bad I don't have apple jelly for that applesauce cake. That would have kind of made more sense in my mind, but oh well. And we have an accessory packet, 307th day. So, would have been November of 2018 that this was produced. Cut that open real quick. Let's see what we get in here. I'm assuming accessory packet A is usually. Oh, I didn't cut it open. There we go. All right. Accessory packet A is usually the most standardized accessory packet that you see the most in your MREs and whatnot. Well, in your MREs. First Strike rations are different. We have Coffee Instant Type 2. This is the spray dried variant of the Type 2. We've got a creamer, non-dairy dry. Of course, your moist towelette. An ice, 4 grams, way too much salt. We got the nice tan package, camouflage basically, white tip. Of course, they're going to be made by D.D. Bean and Sons, but Jaffrey, New Hampshire. Huh. I don't know. That seems different. Here's our pack of sugar. 4 grams of that as well. Which I wish they'd give you 6 grams of sugar and 2 grams of salt. That'd make me happier. We've got our U.S. issued butt ration or toilet paper and napkins. This feels like a substantially larger package of toilet paper than I've ever had. Like, I know that sounds weird to say, but, I mean, look at that. That is like it seems like a lot. And it seems like a lot more than I typically get. We might just have to inspect that to see. And, of course, your chiclet style gum. Which those would probably be spearmint, I'm going to guess. Alright. Well, this is a pretty well-rounded meal, it seems like. The pretzels don't make any sense to me. Why? Like, I guess, I mean, there's not much there. 110 calories in these, which is kind of surprising. They must be, yeah, enriched wheat flour. That's why, because it's enriched. It just, nah. We could have had something much better that would have went better with our beef stew, I feel like. But I'm going to go throw this in some boiling water. And I think that's all I need to boil, right? Yep. I'll be right back. Gee whiz, buddy. You are loaded. Has he eaten tonight? Yes. And he needs to take a break. Okay. Let me grab all the food items here. I'm going to use that, or that, or that. Put that over here out of the way. Probably use this for my trash bag. Oops. Well, maybe I will. There we go. Strawberry jam and peanut butter. Pretzels over there. Beverage base, hot sauce and straw, multigrain snack bread, dessert, and where's my coffee? And we're left over with the gun, the toilet paper, the moist towelette, the iodized salt, and the matches. We'll inspect that. I want to see how many sheets they gave. I think it's usually 12. I think that's what it... 12 or 14. I'm going to have to check that out and see if my mind's playing tricks on me or what. Alright. Yeah, all my other glasses are dirty. What are you doing, cat? Right there's the one from last week that I ended up not using at all. I thought I was going to use this, but I didn't. But you can kind of see. Might be where this is like rolled tighter. It just looks like a lot more. Alright. Good old Borange. I don't know what is wrong with me. I cannot talk. Had this problem for a couple weeks, it seems like. Hey, what's up, Bob? Just got in from a ride. Now I'm going to go back. Relax. Well, it's good to see you stop by there, Bob. Glad to have you, my friend. Look at the color on that. I got to try a little bit in my hand. This is the Electrolyte. I want to see if I can taste any salt in that powder. Actually, it does kind of taste like I can taste the sodium in it. 120 milligrams of sodium, so 5% of this, or that's 5% of your daily value, so 120 milligrams of that. I wonder how much That actually is, as far as adding it into that. Seems like that's a good bit. I need to find myself another. Oh, I missed a super chat. I'll check that here in just 1 second. Yeah, I need to find myself another case A of MREs. That reminds me, foreignmre.com. You guys go over there and get yourself some discounted rations. Let's see what the super chat was that I missed while I was not looking. Wow. Oh, there it is. Aaron Crafty, what is your favorite MRE menu? Are we talking new or old? Because if it's going to go through the scope of every MRE ever created, by far, no secret about this, I've been very open, that corned beef hash is my favorite MRE menu that's ever existed. Out of the current MRE menus, what would be my favorite new MRE? Current MRE. Trying to think here. I'm going to look at the MRE menus real quick. Because it's hard to, there's so many that are decent, I would say. Gundog's favorite is the chicken chunks with the buffalo sauce. Are they still putting the buffalo sauce in there in the 2020s and 2021s, I wonder? Because I heard that they were going to do away with that, which makes me sad if they do. I'm a big fan of the chili as well in the wintertime. Okay, so chili, if it's cold outside, chili's going to be one of my favorites. So it's kind of going to matter a little bit on the temperature. But the shredded beef that I had a couple weeks ago is probably up there on one of my favorites. So I'd say all around, I would say it's probably the shredded beef. And second place would probably be my wintertime favorites, the chili. My all-around favorite would be shredded beef. And then I would say, like, bringing up a close second place would probably be the breakfast, the hash with potatoes. That because I like to eat breakfast as a meal, and it's one of those that really does it for me. You cook that one up right, it can be really good. Fry it. Where is Ration Museum? There he is. Ed. There you go, buddy. Now you can post links to the Ration Museum live stream. All right, let's give this some water. I think this one calls for a little bit less water. Hey, look at that. Whoops. $12 ounces. Okay. And I forgot about the main. Awesome. Dang it. Okay. Yep. I forgot about the main there for a minute. Hopefully it didn't boil for too long. Yeah, this called for 12 ounces of water. I'm going to put less than that in here. I'm going to put about that much right there. There's Mr. Gusto just came in. By the way, I need to go back and find that last super chat. Definitely enjoy answering questions like that. Aaron Crafty123, thank you for that super chat. Man. I really appreciate that. And then RC Gusto, you guys got to go check out Mr. Gusto's channel. And anytime you guys click on one of Gusto's videos, it's generating a little bit of revenue. And anything that Gusto gets to the Children's Hospital. So I highly recommend you going and checking out RC Gusto's channel. And let me read his super chat now. That I went on a little bit of a rant there. It's been too damn long. Finally get to watch a Smokey. Well, thank you for stopping in, Mr. Gusto. I know you're an extremely busy, quote-unquote, first responder. I mean, you're more of a, I don't know. When I think of a first responder, I think of, like, fire department, ambulance. Like, you're a hardcore, in the trenches doctor. So... yeah, definitely a busy dude right there. But it is good to see you here, and thank you for that super chat, Mr. Gusto. All right. Getting stuff all over the table, as usual. What is that? That's different. Got something on the table there. Get this multigrain snack bread, not wheat snack bread, just multigrain snack bread out of there. Definitely got some multiple grains sticking out of there, especially that one right there. Is that like, what is that? Let's check out the ingredients on this real quick. Enriched bleached wheat flour, so it's definitely a wheat snack bread. Water, plain oil. Gee, Merry Christmas, look at the list of ingredients on this thing, which most of those are chemicals that are going to be in parentheses for preservatives. Wheat, rye, corn, oats, brown rice, treacle, barley, millet. That's a freaking piece of millet. Feed that to my birds. Flaxseed, it might be flaxseed too. Contains less than 2% dough conditioner. Huh. Well, whole grain blend. Yeah, we could do so much better. I don't understand. Like, I want to talk to someone at Natick and find out, do we really got to make our bread this way? We can have so much better bread in our rations. I mean, look at the bread that comes in the Australian rations. Look at the comes in the Canadian rations. Like, it's so much more normal. And nobody is going to pick over, say, the Canadian IMP bread, or definitely not Australian bread. And of course, I'm not going to hold up as long. I bet you those breads would last 7 years if the ration was just being stored at a decent temperature. Homemade breakfast burritos for dinner. Well, you can't beat that. I like the breakfast burritos. I like McDonald's breakfast burritos. Alright, some pretzel sticks up in here. You know, I should have added some salt to those. I think I'm still going to do it. I'm going to put these back in the bag. And I'm going to take this salt packet that I never use. And I'm going to add some salt to these things. Now, there ain't nobody else going to be eating these but me. And that's why I can do this. Put my salt away already. I did. Well, those are pretty good, actually. They're nice and fresh. I can say that. But they look like they're lacking in salt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to breathe into this, get a little bit of condensation going on in this bag. Then I'm going to sprinkle some salt in there. Shake. And hope that some of that stuck, which I think it probably did. It was worth a shot anyway. All right. Let's make up the coffee real quick. Get that salt out of the way. Since I mentioned a few minutes ago, I'll use the foreignmre.com mug. Sugar is going in first tonight because that's what I had in my hand first. I'm going to do it pretty much backwards. Going with the creamer next. I didn't think that opened. Well, good old Giannis Brother creamer. I do like these little retorts of the creamers. I think these will probably hold up for a very, very long time. And our spray dried coffee instant type 2 right here. Most of that's a fine powder, but there's some chunks in there, like it got a little bit of moisture to it or something. That's oh, it's a good thing I got steel toes on because that landed right on my toe. Right on my toe. Which it's my bad toe anyway. I never thought I'd be the guy with a bad knee, bad ankle, bad toe. Splash more. There we go. Actually, just put about probably 9 ounces of water to that, which is far too much. I should have stopped when I stopped instead of adding more. That's what I get. Give this another stir real quick. That's a quick stir. Probably didn't need it, but safe than sorry. Get the strawberry jam opened up. And like Gundog says, let me break the knife out. The smaller the hole, the more control. Same thing on our butter over here, which I think I did a pretty good job at pre-kneading. There we go. So corner off of that. Oh, got our dessert here. 289th day. These are late 2018s right here that I got. I can't remember what the package date on the case was. This is probably one of my favorite pound cakes. Well, I don't know. I really like the lemon poppy seed. Holy cow, this thing is dry. Extremely dry. Unusually dry, I should say. Because typically, these things aren't that bad. They're usually pretty moist. Huh. Those crumbs are going to bother me. So they're going over here with the cake. On with that chunk. And the rest of these crumbs. Alright. Time for the beef stew to make an appearance. So I clean up my mess here. Alright. It's going in a bowl. just because it's easier for me to heat it. Because I seriously doubt I'll eat all this right now. There we go. Kind of looks, it's got a weird tint to it. Whoop. All right, I think, okay, I'm good. I don't know if that's my camera adding that weird tint, because I was looking at the camera. It looks a little bit different in person than it does on camera. Not much, but a little bit. It's more, it's got a browner tint to it in person than it does, and it is quite thick, as you can see. That's pretty daggone thick. That's what I like to see. If it's, I've seen them come out more runny. Maddog says the best thing about the beef stew is you can mix in curry powder or Cajun seasoning and transform it into something new and flavorful. I think it's got a lot of flavors going on, and Gundog's right. You can change this up with a slight addition of spices, just depending on if you're craving something a little spicier, you can add spicier or spice to it. You can add like a little bit of clove or a little bit of garlic, like garlic salt. Things like that will really change a dish like this right here up. It is, what's the word I'm looking for? It's pretty open to receiving different spices. Like it takes them really well. I'm just going to go for a full bite of beef stew to start with. It is steaming hot. So my mouth is watering like crazy. It's going to go down the hatch right here. Here we go. Oh, that's hot. So the gravy's really nice, hearty. You can pick up some onion in there, which is nice. It's not overpowering at all, but it's there, and I like that. And of course, the beef gravy itself has a really nice savory flavor to it, and it's extremely hot. Burn my mouth hot. The vegetables, I'll say, are really nice. They're not overdone, which could become an issue in a beef stew like this if your potatoes are overdone or if your peas are completely turned to mush, which the longer something sits in a pouch like this, the more that's bound to happen. So this being as fresh as it is, I mean, this is only what? 3 years old. This is right at the typical inspection area for these rations right here. Well, coming up on the inspection date for these, it's probably November, December of 21 for these. But of course, we know they'll last a whole lot longer than that. Now, the beef in this doesn't seem so much like pressed and formed. It just feels like it's been cubed. Nope, it's pressed and formed. It didn't chew up that way, but it's definitely pressed and formed cubes of beef. And I'm not a huge fan of that process. I'd much rather just have chunks of the beef cut off instead of it being pressed back into these shapes. And they use meat glues and stuff like that, which I'm not a fan of. Not that they're bad for you or anything, I'm just not a fan of them. Alright, multigrain snack bread. You can definitely see the grain contained in this particular type of bread. It doesn't have much of a smell, hardly at all. A little bit of like a bleached flour scent. But compared to the other snack breads, this one is probably the least aromatic out of the ones that exist in the fresh rations. Well, you know how peanut butter, you get the chunks of peanuts whenever you're chewing it up? Well, there's chunks of stuff in this that remind me of chunks of peanuts. They're crunchy, and they come through, and I'm not a huge fan of that either. You know, I don't want something crunchy inside my bread, really. That's it's kind of the opposite of how I expect the bread to be. And this does turn doughy quite quickly. I could stand here and dog this stuff all day long. I'm not a fan of the snack breads, the wheat snack breads and stuff, but they will work for a vessel to get your strawberry jam, your peanut butter, and also mixing it with your beef stew probably ain't too bad either. About to find out. I'm a huge fan of the potatoes in this beef stew, by the way. I like potatoes a lot, and they're pretty good in this, mixed with the gravy and the beef. Let's see how the bread does for the beef stew. So the bread has a really subtle but strong hint of sweetness to it. And I'm not a fan of it mixing with this, because this is just like savory and I want it to stay savory. Let's see if my trick pretzels. I think they did. Not extremely salty, but saltier than they were when I first started. And I wouldn't typically add salt to a main, but this one I'm adding just a little bit too. And got our hot sauce here, which is probably the earliest date code that I've seen so far that I've paid attention to. 172nd day of 2018. Now, on your hot sauce, you don't want to make a hole that's too small, or you'll have difficulties controlling your pour, or you'll end up squeezing it, and more will come out than what you want. And instead of just mixing this into my beef stew right now, I'm going to put it in the spoonful versus putting it just into the main and being stuck with it with hot sauce, because I'll probably eat it about 50-50. That's how I'm thinking I'll probably want it. Give me a drop of that hot sauce or two. Has it dried up? What the heck? Okay, there's a little. Wow, there's like not much in this at all. Okay. Now, see, that's actually got a little bit of heat to it that comes through. I'm picking up a lot of vinegar in this one. I'm a huge fan of this hot sauce most of the time. I gotta try it again, see if maybe I did something wrong there. There we go. Yeah, that's actually a pretty subtle heat. Kind of hits you all around the mouth, not just on the tongue or the back of the throat. Just kind of adds a subtle heat everywhere. And I like the flavor that it adds. A little bit heavy on the vinegar, in my opinion. But all around, I mean, the first ingredient is aged cayenne red pepper, and then distilled vinegar, salt, and garlic. So overall, nice hot sauce. I do enjoy that hot sauce. I wanted to try adding some pretzels to a bite. Now the pretzels actually do have a pretty pronounced flavor that's definitely going to come through. It's not just going to add like crunch to it. I actually like the flavor that the pretzels add to the beef stew. They mix really well. I said I didn't really care for them having pretzels in here, but they do mix pretty well with the beef stew flavor, I gotta say. That's how I'm going to eat those. Or just on their own, of course, because pretzels ain't bad. Now, I like to have pretzels when I have a cheese spread, especially cheese spread with jalapenos with the pretzels. That's the bomb. Those two mix really well together. That's something I'd eat at home with like my spare MRE items. Sorry, guys, I'm a little bit of a slow chewer. Last week's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12. 12 sheets. So I was right when I said 12 earlier. On the toilet papers or napkins, whatever. In my opinion. Alright, let's try some peanut butter. Good old creamy peanut butter. You've seen it once, you've seen it 1,000 times on an MRE review or video or live stream. Tried and true, field tested, and approved peanut butter. I guess y'all made it through Friday the 13th. I thought about that earlier, mentioning that. Getting the peanut butter on there is all right, but you better be prepared to have something to wash that down with, like this coffee right here. Holy cow, that's hot. Woo! I didn't think it'd still be that hot. Like, burnt my tongue. Woo! Yeah, I added too much water. Definitely watered that down too much. It's really weak. Which I guess I could probably remedy that by finding another pouch of coffee somewhere. If I have any. Let's see here. Got this bag that Bob sent. Is it going to have any coffee in it? Maybe. It's definitely got creamers in it. Got plenty of those. Oh, boom. Type 3. We'll do that. And a creamer. Why not? Got to fix this cup of coffee, though, because it is super weak. And it's still super hot, too, so the coffee will dissolve in there just fine. It's a Type 2 and Type 3. So I guess this is a Type 5 coffee that I'm getting ready to have here. And doubled up on the non-dairy. And what did I do with it? Thought I had a thing of... Huh. What the heck did I do with it? I had a thing of Splenda. Okay. Feel like I'm losing my mind a little bit. What in the world? Oh, there it is. Yeah, about half a thing of Splenda. That ought to liven it up and make it just about right. Oh, yeah. My spoon. Make this as appealing as I can to look at for now. Use my little piece of TP, see if I can clean this spoon off. Good enough to where it won't leave a oil slick in the cup of coffee, because all the oil in that's raising to the top, I've noticed. And it looks like it's getting more runny the longer it sits there, which is kind of odd. You would think it would get thicker the cooler it gets. But yeah, I started to mention earlier, if you guys are interested in picking up a case of MREs over there at foreignmre.com, you can use code OS10 or Oldsmokey10 and get $10 off of a case of MREs or First Strike rations if they have any of those left over there. So, all right, let's find out if doubling up on the coffee was a good idea. That is perfect. Oh, wow. That is a fantastic cup of coffee. Time for some strawberry jam to go with that coffee. I'm going to use this piece for the jam. I was hoping it wouldn't be runny, and it's not. Here's the strawberry jam. It looks really good. It's nice and fresh. It tastes extremely natural. It tastes like almost like pureed strawberries that have been very well ripened, I would say. So what do we have? Some sugar, strawberries, strawberry puree, pectin, citric acid, and water. Strawberry jam. And it's very refreshing, I would say, on the strawberry jam. Really nice palate cleanser too. Time for a little bit of peanut butter. Peanut butter jelly time. Where you at? Where you at? That just doesn't look right, but I don't know. Almost looks like some eyes, and some red, like lipstick lips. I don't know what we got going on down here, but osmotic raisins in instant coffee roller yak. I can't remember where the MRE came from, if it was one of mine or it was sent in. But I had some osmotic cranberries about, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago. And I have not been able to stop thinking about those osmotic cranberries ever since. They were very unique. They were not like any other osmotic cranberries I've ever had. When I opened the package, they looked really off and strange and weird. But they were covered in this cranberry flavored sugar and just packed with, so good. I'm going to have to go back and find that live stream and take a screenshot of that and send it to you, Ruler Yak, because they were so good. I've seriously have been obsessively thinking about those ever since, and I was looking through my stuff trying to find some osmotic cranberries, and I don't have any osmotic cranberries, but not like they end up being like those anyway. Mm. The strawberry jam and peanut butter on the bread, it does go pretty well with that multigrain bread. And then this perfect cup of coffee just washes it down. Mm. That's like a dessert. The coffee really does make it like a dessert, though. Give this Carbohydrate Electrolyte orange beverage base powder a try. I'm glad I went light on the water on that. This does have a really decent orange citrus flavor to it. It's a lot better than the little single stick for the 20 ounce, the sugar-free one. I'm not a huge fan of that one. Or the lemonade single stick. I'm not a huge fan of that one either. But the Carbohydrate Electrolyte does taste a lot more like Gatorade than it does anything else. And then your standard orange beverage base tastes a lot more like Tang. Well, let's find out how dry this little cake is. This is the applesauce cake, trans fat free. That is, or definitely was falling apart when I took it out. You can see the chunks of apple in there. It's good. I've always thought this kind of had a weird smell. It almost has like a green smell to it. Not like green apple, just kind of a green, earthy green smell with cinnamon. It almost smells like there's going to be brown sugar there. I don't know. Give it a try. It's really dry. That packaging wasn't compromised, I don't think. Unless, maybe, right here could have been a leak. Also over here. This one definitely bleeds up into the actual packaging. You don't see that anywhere else other than right here on this corner. I don't know, but it's so dry that it's almost crunchy, which is unusual for a pound cake that's this fresh, this new. Typically, they're not super dry like this one. Like I said, I mean, it's borderline crunchy in areas. Add some strawberry jam to it, though. That's not bad, but it's not good either. The strawberry contradicts the apple way too much in my mouth. The apple was, I don't know, it kind of brings a tanginess out in it that it doesn't have if you don't mix them together. So I'm just going to put some more of this on this bread, eat it that way. Yeah, that's more like a dessert right there than putting it onto the applesauce cake. Maybe a little bit of peanut butter on it might work. We'll find out. Now that's not actually that's better than the strawberry jam. It's not bad. I would do that again. I would put the peanut butter on there. Back when my dad passed away, someone made this apple cake, and I ended up getting the recipe for it. But that's what I thought this was going to be like whenever I saw this come out. Um, yeah, the apple cake that I'm talking about, I think it was an apple, like an applesauce cake. Is that what this is called? Yeah, applesauce cake. Which there's not much of an applesauce flavor going on here. I guess it's just a lot of the ingredients from applesauce are in it, but because those are chunks of apples. It's just so dry that it's falling apart really bad. Yeah, no, those are chunks of apples, not like pureed applesauce that's been freeze dried or something like that, or rehydrated. Actual chunks of apples. And the apples have definitely been seasoned in something before they were put into that cake. I definitely pick up cinnamon inside, like it's been infused into the apple, almost like a cider. It kind of tastes like an apple cider flavor. Not horrible. You guys don't forget to hit that thumbs up or down, either way you're thinking. Don't forget to get that museum live stream tomorrow, um, if you can. It starts at 3 o'clock. I can post a link to that. I think I still got it pulled up. Let me see if I do. Rulery, I can post a link to it now too. But so can I. Paste. This is Ration Museum. It's the Ration Museum live stream. And there is a link for you guys if you want to set up your notification for tomorrow so you can come and join us on the Ration Museum live stream tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All the links in my description are worth checking out. Like I said, foreignmre.com. They got MRE cases over there. You can get $10 off. They got free shipping. I think you end up getting a case for like $100 shipped. And I think they're 2019s, or they were 2019s or 2020s. I can't remember. But they had first strike cases too. I can't remember how much those were. Either way, you get $10 off for every case that you buy. So if you use that code, it's a good, I guess it's a cool way for me to be able to pass along some savings to you guys. I don't get anything from that, just so you know. Just anybody that would not order because they think they have something like that in mind, that's not the case. It's just simply a discount code. Yeah, that coffee turned out. Honestly, I think the coffee is my favorite thing that I've had out of this. The beef stew was killer. Zero complaints about the beef stew at all, other than it kind of got runny, which is weird. You know, the hotter it was, the thicker it was. Not what I would typically think. Going to burn one real quick. And like I said, next week, plan on doing the Jack of Trades ration next week. Enthusiast for notificated gummies. I'm already notificated. Apple cinnamon whiskey. I was on my way home from Wisconsin. What's the name of that city I went to up there? Where Hartley's are made. Anyway, I was on my way home from there and stopped by some random place, random gas station in Ohio somewhere. I can't remember what it was. And I picked up these little teeny tiny. They were like, I wouldn't even call them airplane bottles. They were smaller than that. You know, like the little airplane single bottles of liquor and whatnot. I think they were even smaller than that. But one of them was, I think one of them was called apple cider. And I didn't try it, but I was told it was really good. And I picked up 2 or 3 other different ones from that same maker, and they were also supposedly really good. So, but yeah, that's what made me think of it, was the apple cider thing. Total Wines and more. Hang on a second. Yeah, I was in Ohio somewhere. I think northern Ohio, somewhere up in area I'm not familiar with. I think I kept the empty. Hang on. I did keep one of the empty bottles, but this isn't the apple cider one. This is a butterscotch. Dr. McGillicuddy's Intense Butterscotch. Looks like AP McGillicuddy liquor. 21% by volume. Goofy looking little bottle in my opinion. Kind of looks like an old tonic label. I don't know why this camera, everything, all the like print is backwards. See, like Oldsmokey's backwards, and it should read correctly. Because if I was to, let's test this theory real quick. Because I'm pretty sure if I put this over here, yeah, see, the print's correct. World famous Dr. McGillicuddy's. Established in 1865. Only authentic when signed. Yeah. Might have been an old process that they had. Cream to mint McGillicuddy's, huh? I don't know. I bought like 3 or 4 different of these brands. Oh, it's not backwards to you? This isn't backwards to you? And this? Come on, focus. That's not backwards to you? The meal was actually really good. Bourbon Street Joe. Nola's. Sounds good since you don't. Yeah, I don't really drink either. It doesn't. It doesn't smell like alcohol. There's a little tiny still in there, so you can still smell it. Yeah, I mean, it kind of smells a little bit like butterscotch, to be honest. Yeah, but I kept that bottle so I could remember the brand. Had I thrown it away, I'd have never ever remembered the brand. And I got a spot in there where I keep little mini bottles that I've had over the years. Most of them still sealed. An angel of pure virtue. How was the space potatoes from the show? Not that great. It was more they. I think age had really kind of gotten to them because I think they were from the 80s or 70s, something like that. It was. I don't know. I don't remember what was on the show. I remember that day very, very well because I got oddly emotional. Um, so the space potatoes, the scallop potatoes, were supposedly flown on. I think we figured out it was one of the Discovery missions. I think is what we had broken it down to. So I'm not sure. Heck, it might have been in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, something like that. But so that day, it was really weird. We got we were going to film them the night before, and we found out about them literally the day before, and we didn't end up getting to them. So we got to them the next day, and after we got into it, we looked them up. The date is what I mean when I say looked it up. Looked up the date. It was like 30 years to the exact day that they were put into that package. And that made me oddly emotional, and I thought, this is exactly, the universe is telling me that this is exactly where I'm supposed to be, when I'm supposed to be there, and doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Like, that's what it felt like. And we wanted to come up with a better way to inject the water into the package and then cut it open. Which, unfortunately, I mean, I'm not happy about this, but that package ended up getting ruined by mold and whatnot. But the space potatoes, after they rehydrated, um, they tasted kind of stale because obviously a freeze-dried potato, even though it's freeze-dried, is still a potato. And if it got, after 30 years, a little bit of air leaked into that package, so they got a little bit stale, like a potato chip would. And you know that flavor that comes along with staleness? That's kind of what it had going on. But as far as it being fully edible, 100%, you could have eaten that entire thing. The cheese was a little weird, I noticed too. That, like, they hadn't really refined that powdered cheese yet, like they have nowadays. Like if you have freeze-dried Mountain House stuff with cheese in it, like it's going to taste like good cheese. It's going to, it's going to have that good cheese flavor. Back then, it was more, I would say, a harder chemical base flavor, and what wasn't the best, but it was one of the best experiences that I got to have because I got to eat food that's been in space and came back to our planet after it's left it. And how many people can say they've done that outside of astronauts? Not too many people. There are some flown space food items in private collectors' hands. And out of all those private collectors, I would say maybe 2 or 3 of those people might be willing to open up one of their flown items and eat it. Just to be able to say, I ate food that was flown to space and came back and I ate it. Because outside of actually going into space, which is becoming more and more of a possibility for everyone. It's going to be extremely expensive for a while, but eventually, I would say in the next 30 years, it's going to be something that that the average human could afford. Now the waiting list is going to be long because I don't think there's going to be enough ships to transport the amount of people that want to go, and we'll be able to afford it at certain points. Because with SpaceX being able to recycle the actual boosters and them not crashing into the ocean and just being out that hundreds of millions of dollars or however much it is to build a rocket booster that's capable of carrying tons and tons to space. That's a huge step in the right direction for the common man to be able to pull off space travel. So I don't know, that got me off on a tangent there, but that was a really cool day of filming on eating history. That was one of my favorite moments. The chocolate chip cookie, the one we cooked. If it was the boxed, was it Betty Crocker? I think it was. We did we did this Betty Crocker chocolate chip cookie mix. I think you're talking about. Oh yeah. So that was the closest thing to being to eating trash. Legitimately pulling something out of the trash that's been in there for days. That's legitimately one of the things that we ate that was closest to trash that we had on the entire show. It was so wrong. It was so wrong in so many different ways that it definitely should not have been something that anybody should have put into their mouth. I think it came with the oil in it or something like that, because the box, like the oil had leaked all over everything, and it had this horrible rancid oil smell, like rancid. That was my indication this isn't going to work. And Josh took a great big old huge bite of one of those cooked cookies. And oh, I missed a super chat. Oh, hey Dan, what's going on, buddy? Better late than never, right? How y'all doing? Well, thanks for the $30.99 Australian huge super chat, Dan. I appreciate that, my man. Wow, holy cow, you did not have to do that. I really appreciate that. Just talking about some eating history moments that I have memories of. Yes, history moments that I have memories of. Yes. Made a lot of cool memories doing that, filming that TV show. There's every day, honestly, it was nothing like, it wasn't like work. So it was like getting to do something that I really fully enjoyed, and I would I would do something like that in a heartbeat, 100 times out of 100. It was definitely a good time. I appreciate. I think you missed something there. And you, everyone in here, just showing my love. Well, thank you so much, Cyanide Cookies, I should say. Dan over in Australia. Dan's a first responder as well, just like Gusto. Well, no, yes, first responding team. That's a lot of dong. Who here loves MRE cake desserts? Lemon pound cake and vanilla pound cake are damn good. I'm a huge lemon poppy seed pound cake guy. I do like the lemon poppy seed pound cakes. The vanilla cakes ain't bad at all. I don't like the brownie, which is basically the chocolate pound cake. I'm not a fan of those at all. Um, the marble, the marble's not bad, but when you really get into some more exotic, like the spiced pound cake, that's a really good one. The carrot pound cake, that's another extremely good one. 521,000 Vietnamese dong. Is that how much Dan just put up there? I'd like to go to Vietnam. I've always wanted to go over there. Man, I'd love to have another cup of coffee just like that. I don't know if I have the stuff to recreate it. Type 2 spray dried, Coffee Instant Type freeze dried, and Giannis Brothers shiny, the shiny little retort of the non-dairy creamer, and paper creamers in it. So and then, I don't know how much water exactly I added, probably about 9 ounces. But I drank about an ounce and a half off and then added the rest of the coffee. Gosh, that was so good. That's one of the best cup of coffees I've probably ever had, ration coffee wise. It was like perfect, and I'm not a fan of Splenda. Seeing food shows that made me want to go to Asia in general. Yeah, especially like street food. Like the street food, they make the street food look really good usually. Go to Vietnam, it's great. Just don't bring home cholera like your mom did. Yeesh. What is cholera? Obviously, it's something contagious. What is cholera? Interesting. Oh, so it's in the water. A bacterial disease causing severe diarrhea, dehydration, and severe diarrhea and dehydration, usually spread in water. Cholera is fatal if not treated right away. It's extremely rare, fewer than 1,000 U.S. cases per year. Treatable by a medical professional, spreads through contaminated water or food, requires a medical diagnosis, lab tests or images always required. Short term, resolves within days to weeks. Critical, needs emergency care. Symptoms are diarrhea and dehydration. Rarely, shock and seizures may occur if it's a severe case. Man, if she traveled all the way home with it, I'll bet she ended up having a pretty severe case of it. Huh. Isn't that like Giardia or whatever? That same kind of deal spreads in water, right? Like a little, uh, those little. I'm right. What is Giardia? Uh-huh. An intestinal infection caused by Giardia parasites. Giardia spreads through contaminated food or water, or by person-to-person contact. It's most common in areas with poor sanitation and unsafe water. Fewer than 200,000 U.S. cases per year. What? There's way less cholera. I think it said there was only 1,000 cases per year on that one. Weird. Symptoms might include watery diarrhea, alternating with greasy, fatigue, cramps, belching. Gas also may occur. Some people have no symptoms. Interesting. Huh. Well, yeesh. The internet. Man, some of the questions that I've seen on there, I'm not going to repeat. But alright, guys, I said today was going to be a quick one. I did mean that. I'm going to do my cleanup. And see you guys next week. The menu Paulo was. Oh, sorry, I'm flipping the camera back and around and around. Menu number 9. Beef Stew. Kills a lot of third world countries. That's what I thought. Poor water supplies. Like passing rice water until you die of dehydration. Yeesh. Yeah, so I get the whole third world country thing and what, like, I don't understand why they use the methods that they use in their water. They have to know. They have to know better. If they're going to have a dirty water supply, they should separate it out and make a clean water supply. There should be a way to separate it out. I mean, because they got to know that doing the type of stuff they do in there, the water supply is not productive. I don't know. Just some of the things that they do are maybe they're just not educated well enough. I don't know. But yeah, man, you guys, I look forward to seeing you guys back next week. Thank you guys all for showing up this week. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up or down, either way. I want to say a huge thanks to anyone over on my Patreon. I intend on trying to get over on that tonight. That is my intentions. So spend a few minutes over on there. I got a little bit of an update I want to put on there anyways. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. And everybody who sent in a super chat, Gusto, Dan, it's not going to show me all the ones that I got tonight. See if I can make it back up to this other one, hopefully. Man, wow, it's really letting me go back in the chat today. Huh. Never lets me do this. I made it all the way back to RC Gusto's super chat. It went from RC Gusto and then down to... Can't remember who the first super chat was. I can't believe it's let me scroll back this far. This is amazing. It never does this for me. Well, and then there's Cyanide Cookies. I missed the other one. I can't find it. But thank you guys for all the super chats. I really do appreciate them. And yeah, link to the Ration Museum's live stream right there. Tomorrow's the 50th live stream. You guys definitely want to show up for that one. Please make it 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ration Museum live stream. Don't be late for that one. Go set your notification. Click on that link right there. Turn your bell on. Or it'll ask if you want notified when it starts. Hit that OK or notify me or whatever it says. And yeah. Thanks to all my moderators on here, and I will wrap it up now. So I guess all I got to do now is say thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next live stream. Later.